I'm Max Pringle with these headlines. Billionaire Trump ally Elon Musk appeared at the White House Tuesday to defend the major cuts to federal government spending that he's making as head of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Trump, meanwhile, signed an executive order for more government spending cuts. Trump, without any evidence, said DOGE is saving the country billions.
We've already found billions of dollars, not like a little bit, billions, many billions of dollars. And when you get down to it, it's going to be probably close to $1 trillion. It could be close to $1 trillion that we're going to find.
Musk responded to criticism that the cuts are making it hard for the government to function.
It's not draconian or radical, I think. It's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it.
It was Musk's first time taking questions from reporters since he joined the administration as a special government employee, tasked with streamlining the government and eliminating fraud and waste. The Trump administration sacked the Inspector General for the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, Tuesday. The move comes a day after his office warned that the Trump administration's dismantling of USAID had made it all but impossible to monitor $8.2 billion in unspent humanitarian aid. The White House gave no reason why it let Inspector General Paul Martin go. Inspector General are typically independently funded watchdogs attached to government agencies and tasked with rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse. The Trump administration earlier purged more than a dozen inspectors general. On Monday, Martin's office issued a flash report warning that the Trump administration's freeze on all foreign assistance and moves to cut USAID staff had left oversight of the humanitarian aid largely non-operational. The Kremlin is releasing a few more details about what led to the release of American Mark Fogel from a Russian jail in exchange for a Russian citizen. Moscow has declined to identify the Russian national until he arrives back in that country. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters that the unidentified individual would return to Russia in the coming days, and his name would be revealed when he returns home. Unlike during past prisoner exchanges between Moscow and Washington, when Russians and Americans were released simultaneously and their identities were revealed right away. Peskov said that the name of the man being freed would be announced upon his return and declined to comment on whether the person is Alexander Vinnik. Vinnik was arrested in 2017 in Greece at the request of the U.S. on cryptocurrency fraud charges. He was later extradited to the U.S., where he pleaded guilty last year to conspiracy to commit money laundering. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the Gaza war ceasefire will end if all the remaining hostages aren't released by Saturday. Hamas had suspended a scheduled release, accusing Israel of violating the terms of the truce. More from Giles Gibson.
There are now mounting concerns that the Gaza ceasefire deal is on the brink of collapse. While the Israeli Prime Minister says Hamas must release hostages in 3 days, his language is open to interpretation. It's not clear whether he's backing US President Donald Trump's call for all remaining hostages to be freed, or if the previously planned number of 3 would keep the ceasefire alive. Hamas says it remains committed to the agreement and blames Israel for any complications or delays. Giles Gibson, Tel Aviv.
Rising prices on groceries, gas, and used cars make it less likely that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates anytime soon. The Consumer Price Index increased 3% last month from a year ago. Wednesday's report from the Labor Department showed up from 2.9% the previous month. It has increased from a 3.5-year low of 2.4% in September. Candidate Donald Trump pledged to reduce prices. Most economists worry that his proposed tariffs could at least temporarily increase costs. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will likely be asked today by the House Financial Services Committee what the Fed will do. Trump posted on social media early today that interest rates should be lowered to go hand in hand with upcoming tariffs. Those are the news headlines. I'm Max Pringle.